So this is what the intro screen looks like, and you should only see this screen from time to time. The screen may display if you ever have a power outage or if you ever should reboot any of the machines on the network for any reason. Or sometimes, and this should only happen very rarely, your network might lose connection between one of the interfaces and the control server. Remember that you can have an interface running on the actual server itself. So you might have a touchscreen in your home, and the touchscreen can be a server and an interface on one. Or you might have a rack mount server, in which case the touchscreen is merely an interface that connects back to the server. From time to time, you can have a network issue, and this might be something as simple as a new computer being connected to your network, and that might just cause enough of a disruption that your control server loses its connection to the user interface. And if that should ever happen, then you may see this screen. So this screen is the intro screen, but it's also our boot screen for switch automation. Your integrator will also set some settings on the screen. So you'll notice that there's a couple of settings here. One is animation off or on. The other one is mouse off or on. And then a list of servers that you can connect to. The default settings for a touchscreen are for the mouse to be off and the animation to be on. Your integrator should have set up your screen like that. What that means is that you won't get a mouse pointer like this one here on your screen when you're using your finger to operate the touchscreen. The animation on means that you get that nice transition between page flips or room changes. You should only ever see one IP address listed here because in almost every project there is only ever one server, and this will be the IP address of the server. So if you should ever see this screen, then you simply connect to the server by pressing on the IP address of the server. If for some reason the IP address of the server is not listed, that means that you've actually got a more ominous problem with your network and that the server's not present or not connected to the network, so it's unable to be displayed like this. You probably will need to ring your integrator in that case. But if you ever see a screen like this and there's an IP displayed, you simply press the IP address and that will reconnect your user interface to the control server, and you'll know that you're reconnected when you change rooms. All the devices on the right hand side and your scenarios on the left hand side should change with the new room selected. If you should ever have a screen where you're selecting a new room and nothing's changing on the right hand side, so that also is an indication that your user interface is disconnected from your server. And down the bottom right here, the little house with the green light, if that light's not green, that also means that you have a problem where your server is not connected to your user interface. And you can reconnect your user interface by finding the intro button, which is this circular arrow here, and you press on that and that will redisplay your intro screen. While that redisplay is happening, the network is scanned for the servers are listed there, and then you simply reconnect it. And that should actually fix your disconnection problem if you should ever have that. The only other thing that you might ever see is this screen here, and you actually really should not ever see this screen, but what that means is the exit to OS button was pressed. This is a switch automation configuration panel and is really for integrator use only. If you should ever see this screen, you should attempt to press the close window button, the little cross in the top right hand side, and that will close that window and redisplay the switch automation intro screen, and then you can connect your server and reconnect to the network.